What up? This your boy Brookjerz. You already know Megastar Radio. We in the building. Look who I ran into. If you don't know who this guy is, if you've been living under a rock, I don't know where you at, but you don't know who this guy is. But in case if you don't know, tell me who you are, bro.
It was good, people. This your boy Rafe. I mean Mo, actually, aka Rafe, writer and creator of the show Money and Violence.
Hey man, listen. We want to say first of all, thank you, brother, for taking the time out. You know what I'm saying, to chit chat with us, man. And we love what we do here. You know.
Thank you for having me.
First of all, let me get started by asking you, like, what was the inertia that made you even want to create this project?
It was one of two things, man. For one, with everything that I saw that was going on, like with the younger generation, with hip hop culture, with the streets, I felt that there wasn't really anything authentic out there anymore. You know what I mean? Everything's so fabricated, man. You know, to me, like, I say hip hop music has become a circus.
We agree with that.
You know, and hip hop is basically Revenge of the Nerds, man. It's a bunch of dudes that never really been through much, getting the opportunity on camera to be who they always wanted to be. You know, so I wanted to put a body of work out there that kind of brought it back to the authenticity of the streets, you know, because when I came up with the show, I wanted it because I've never seen it on screen. I've never seen what really occurs on the streets on screen. So I just wanted for the very first time to put what really goes on out there. And being that that's kind of lost these days, to reacquaint the streets and the world with the principles that we used to live by. That's why our slogan was "Welcome to the Old Brooklyn."
Word. I mean, when you set out to make it, was it something that you had already had written? Were you writing as you went along? Did you have like a base blueprint and then it expanded from that?
Well, it was something that I wrote as I went along, but you also have to understand that the show is not a true story, but it's based on reality. You know, the show is drawn from experiences that I've gone through, or my peoples have gone through in the past, that I basically put together in story form. But I wrote the scripts week to week, you know, as we had the show. Every week I had basically 6 days to write the script, shoot the show, edit it, and have it out by the following Tuesday.
So did you give yourself that time constraint to like make it formidable for the people to watch it? Like, did you put yourself under those rigors like that?
Yeah, like, because I work very well under pressure, and a lot of times I perform better when, like I said, when I have pressure on me. So I just didn't want to wait, man. When I had came up with the idea, I was so excited about it that it was like I wrote the first script, we shot the first episode, and it was like, yo, just put it out there. And every week we'll basically put together another episode and put it out.
Wow.
But you know, another one of the advantages was also the fact that it allowed the storyline to be relevant to whatever was going on. So we had the Labor Day parade on Monday. The episode that aired on Tuesday, we were at the Labor Day parade, you know. So I think that it was it gave the show an extra appeal because aside from it being a scripted drama, it made it feel like reality. Like, it made it feel like it was going on as life was going on.
Okay. And like, so in making the show and dealing with people in different personalities and schedules and stuff like that, was there ever really an issue with that? Like, was it some things that you couldn't get done because of certain people's schedules and stuff like that?
Well, I mean, when you're dealing with, keep in mind, the show is over 20 characters, over 20 different personalities. You're always going to have issues with people, no matter what. We, of course, conflicting schedule because the first season, you know, this was all DIY. It was done on a shoestring budget. You know, it was basically done out of my pocket. Also, as well, you know, these people had lives, they had jobs, so I basically had to shoot around their schedule. And then you start talking about, as the show starts gaining notoriety, and then now you got attention coming in, and once you get attention and a little bit of fame, you know, sometimes you have issues.
Okay.
And me, as the captain of the ship, I had to decide, you know, when the time came for certain people to leave, or when we had certain issues that we couldn't resolve, but we worked everything out, man.
And what was the one of the highlights of shooting season 1 and getting your project out there and having it respected?
One of the highlights of season 1.
Well, you can give us more than one.
I'll tell you now. One of my biggest highlights was when I got the call. I got the call from my PR, and she was like, "The Tribeca Film Festival, they recognized you this year, for Money and Violence." And keep in mind, the reason that was such a big highlight to me was because, aside from the Tribeca Film Festival being such a prestigious organization, what they recognize is art as far as film is concerned.
Right.
You understand? Mm-hmm. So for my work to be received exactly how I had intended it to be, because this was not just another gangster flick. That's
right.
not what Money and Violence was. Money and Violence was a depiction of life.
True.
It was the depiction of dudes in the hood and why they live the way they live. It was, the world calls us the bad guy, but we're not bad guys. We're villains with superheroes' hearts. We're good guys.
Message.
We're good guys placed in bad circumstances. So being that we're so tenacious and we're so ambitious and we have so much drive, we live by a survive by any means necessary mindset, which causes us, man, listen, my kids ain't gonna starve, point blank. It's that simple, So when the Tribeca Film Festival recognized us, it was like, wow, like they get it. Like they get that this isn't just another shoot 'em up, bang, bang. This is a real depiction of life.
Right. Man, listen, to hear you talk about passion, we're passionate about your project, man. It really does good, How do you feel about being one of the creators of a whole genre of filming on the internet? Like, how do you feel about that? Because it's like, I seen that they gave you a nice honorary award at the the web series and everything.
Listen, man, I see all of this as a privilege. I got something I always say. I always say that success is too big a blessing for any human being to take credit for. So I give the glory to God. Like, I put in the effort, but at the end of the day, too many things had to happen at the exact right time, at the exact right place. Like, I can't take credit for this, and there are people who try their entire lives. You got people who went to film school for years, man, who tried their entire lives and haven't gotten as far as I've gotten in 2 years. You understand what I mean?
True.
It's like a question somebody asked me where they were like, yo, do I consider myself an actor? And I was like, no, I don't consider myself an actor. I think that would be disrespectful to the craft. That'd be disrespectful to the people who've taken acting classes and trained and gone to school. I'm a guy that woke up one morning and decided to act. If I choose to pursue acting and I choose to take classes and train, then maybe one day I can be an actor. But I wouldn't consider myself that now. But yeah, man, I feel this is a privilege, man. It's truly a privilege, and like any privilege, just as quick as it's given, it can be taken away. And that's why, I'm forever grateful, man. And I stay grounded and I stay as humble as possible.
That's right. In season 1, you had a lot of conflicts going, and a lot of stories that was definitely leading up to a season 2. So people already kind of had that season 2 vibe from season 1. Mm-hmm. So what was the creative process that made you interweave the stories the way that you did to make sure that you would ensure to leave people with I need to see a season 2 of this?
Well, keep in mind that when I decided to put together Money and Violence, everything on this show was done strategically. From the first episode, keep in mind, like, we used to be on set and we'd be shooting, and I would tell my cast, like, okay, you see this scene? This is the scene that everybody's going to repost on Instagram tomorrow. This line right here is what everybody's going to be repeating tomorrow. This scene right here is what everybody's going to be talking about at the water cooler, because everything was strategically planned. When I came up with the concept to put the show together, what I did was I sat back and I kept asking myself, what makes a classic? I thought about movies like Boys in the Hood. I thought about Menace to Society, and it was like, what makes a classic? And I came up with all these different things: quotable lines, memorable scenes, things that have never been done before. But my appeal with Money and Violence was to bring it back to the essence. Like, I sit back and I used to watch, all these urban dramas and all these movies, urban movies, and I'm like, wait a minute, when's the last time a guy in a suit came with a briefcase full of cocaine to do a drug deal. That's not
Right.
how it happened.
Not since Miami Vice.
Yeah, like that's not how it happens, bro. And then, you know, I watch other shows where it's like territories, where it's like, oh, I can only sell in Queens. Bro, if I got a bird, if a dude wants it in Virginia, I'm going to Virginia to sell it. If a dude wants it in Queens, if he wants... So what you see on the screen, this is not the way it works. Like,
Right.
So, you know,
Right.
so I just figured, you know what, that's what's going to make us different. I'm going to put out there what really goes on. And I think that that's why a lot of people gravitated to it, because it was like, wow, this is the first time I'm seeing the truth on screen.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and also, I mean, for a list of other reasons, but with Money and Violence, man, I just wanted, because I feel that you can't be better without being different. So I didn't want to do the same copycat or, yo, this is what worked for them. So no, you know, I'm gonna put the truth out there, and like they say, you know, the truth is always gonna resonate no matter what.
Very true.